After getting the woman stable and on fluids, we left her to rest. Megadesk and I contemplated the evidence I could smuggle out. My desk is scattered with my cell phone photos, the ciphered notebook, and the red, mysterious serum. My mind races as I sift through the pieces of a puzzle that seems to have no edges. Whispering to myself, drones, lanterns, serum, but no sign of a production. What the hell is Cyphus planning? Megadesk, my digital assistant, chimes in with its characteristic calmness.
I am puzzled by this serum and the small vial you brought home. There are no records or blueprints related to this production. And if the compound is as volatile as you say, then what is it for? Did you see anything around this substance that could give us a clue?
I frowned. There was an injection gun. My eyes widen in horror. The missing people in the area, could they be experimenting?
Explain how this compound works in the body, if it can actually eat through concrete.
We'll have to run the serum in the chemistry analyzer after you're done with the girl's blood.
Affirmative.
Megadesk responds, and my brow furrows as I contemplate the significance of the mysterious substance. The enigma deepens, and the trail of clues seems to lead nowhere. My eyes fall on the diagram of timelines inside the black notebook, written in red ink. Where is zero? Rubbing my temples, I roughly say, the CEO of Syntech, Nelson Cyphus. What's his deal with timelines in this zero timeline? It's like chasing shadows. As I wrestle with the cryptic details, my thoughts are consistently drawn back to the unconscious young woman, now being called by Megadesk and myself as Clara. The weight of her vulnerability weighs heavily on my mind. Megadesk, being very observant, says,
Ms. Clara exhibits aesthetically pleasing qualities.
I respond with a dismissive frown, attempting to mask the turmoil within. I reply, you know you're the only girl for me. I try to smile to look playful to my digital companion, but in the following silence, my internal monologue reveals a deeper truth. Solitary is safer for myself and everyone else. The fewer people involved, the fewer casualties. But how can I turn my back on her, on someone who's become a pawn in this twisted game?
The identification of Miss Clara substantiates your hypothesis on human testing as an explanation for the increase in missing persons within the vicinity.
Megadesk's voice brings me out of my internal monologue. Yes, I say roughly, though I never imagined testing on pregnant young women. Syntech's sins are deeper than I could have ever imagined. The discovery of Clara can be the shifting of the winds. We needed her testimony on what she experienced at the hands of Syntech is the key to bringing Nelson down. I narrow my eyes. Nelson will know this. We're going to have to be extra cautious. He isn't the kind of man who leaves loose ends. He'll never stop hunting her. I pause for correction. Them. He will never stop hunting them.
I shall enhance my security protocols and maintain vigilant surveillance on the identified Syntech personnel.
Mega response, though I already know she's been on high alert for weeks now.
Are there any leads regarding the identity of the individual referred to as Cheap Vader?
I smile at the ridiculous nickname. No, he was wearing a breathing apparatus. I couldn't make an ID or even get a description. He does run fast.
The red eyes may potentially serve as a form of red light therapy or even function as a component of nocturnal vision enhancement.
Megadesk responds, trying to be helpful. We both fall silent as the Megadesk continues to process data. My mind again wanders to the girl. I grapple with the conflicting forces within me, my instinct for self-preservation, and the unexpected, undeniable connection I feel to the young woman named Clara. The echoes of uncertainty reverberate through the room, mirroring the complexity of the larger mystery that unfolds around them. As the weight of uncertainty presses upon me, I seek solace in the familiar, taking a whiteboard and markers from a cluttered shelf. The cell phone pictures, filled with cryptic timelines and references to the possibility of the multiverse, which I've named the Megaverse, become the canvas for my thoughts. I mutter to myself, if Nelson's obsessed with timelines, let's see what we can unravel. With a deliberate focus, I begin sketching timelines, connecting dots on the whiteboard. For a moment, the complex web of timelines becomes the sole focus of my attention. My marker glides across the whiteboard, creating lines and intersections that mimic the tangled mess of temporal possibilities. My mind races, grappling with the enormity of the concept. Paradoxes upon paradoxes. Would leaving a timeline create ripples and fractures? Could the timeline you just left crumble under the weight of your absence? The room is filled with the sound of my marker scratching against the whiteboard, echoing the scratching of my thoughts against the impenetrable surface of the unknown. The concept of the megaverse looms large, its mysteries challenging the limits of what I thought I understood. Make a desk. Beeps bring me back from my thoughts, but as she is programmed, she waits for me to ask. What is it?
It is Miss Clara. I am incapable of locating any records pertaining to her using dental information.
Well, that was to be expected. Most of the missing persons in the area were people society deemed useless. I wasn't made aware till I tried contacting my network of homeless spies for information on another case and found a lot of them gone without a trace. I look back at the files I keep on my network. 14 of them disappeared without a trace. It's not unusual for the homeless to disappear, but for 14 of them, that is more than a coincidence. That is a crime going unnoticed. In the early stages of this investigation, I believed it to be human traffickers. That was till one informant came forward with a flyer they received from a medical laboratory looking for subjects in a new research study. 3 hot meals a day, a place to live, and even paid compensation for their time. The medical laboratory offering these tantalizing temptations was Syntech, and their CEO was Nelson Cyphus. The more investigating I did, the more shady Cyphus became. But I needed proof. Clara was now my proof. I just had to wait for her to wake up.
The absence of records concerning Miss Clara is not the issue. It is the lack of information regarding her offspring.
I lift an eyebrow. What, about the child?
I can provide no data on the child. Despite the advanced gestation period around week 38, I am unable to determine the child's sex or blood type. During attempts at measurements, the child's presence is indeterminate, resembling a Schrodinger's child scenario.